on a Thursday afternoon. 52 degrees and the sun is shining. Pirates ready to take on these Astros. Nyjer Morgan he's ready, doing a little dance, a little rope-a-dope. Battling the Houston Astros. Nyjer Morgan kind of surprised. He's upbeat today.
Yeah, usually he's really down, moping around.
This is Cecil Cooper's lineup.
Bringing everybody down with him.
Against Jeff Karstens. And the Astros lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Michael Bourne, the speedster, career .338 hitter against the Pirates. Miguel Tejada having a fine series so far. Lance Berkman hits third. Carlos Lee, the cleanup man, had 3 RBIs last night. Then it's Hunter Penson right. Jeff Blum, veteran switch hitting third baseman, bats sixth. Pudge Rodriguez in the 7th spot of the lineup. Then it's Jeff Keppinger and Russ Ortiz.
Jeff Karstens, he's not been out there in a game like this since, was it Sunday before last? I believe it was the last game he had a start. We left him behind
down in the
Florida.
minors.
Yeah, left him in Florida. Got rained out, and when you're the number 5 guy, that's what happens. Really not a lot of bad numbers when you look at his record last year, 2-6. I mean, that's not all that good, but nowadays 4.03 ERA in 9 starts. Nothing to be ashamed about with that.
Defense usually has to work around Jeff Karstens, which is just fine. Nyjer Morgan, Nate McLeod, Brandon Moss in the outfield left to right. The Roche boys on the corners. Jack Wilson back in the starting lineup. Double play partner Freddie Sanchez, and Jason Jaramillo makes his first big league start. We'll watch him closely this afternoon. His battery mate Jeff Karstens. Michael Bourne last night 0 for 3, but led off the game with a walk, and that cost Ross Ollendorf a run as Bourne fouls the first pitch back and out of play. You see Bourne's numbers so far this season. Outstanding speed, and it's a strike. 0-2. That strike called by Randy Marsh, veteran umpire behind the plate. Brian Knight at first, Mike Winters at second, James Hoy is at third. 0-2 on Michael Bourne. 26 years old, had 41 stolen bases last season. As Karstens misses inside.
Good spot for that 0-2 pitch. Get it totally out of the hitting zone.
Tapper right back to Karstens. A nice start. Keep Bourne off the bases, get that first man out of the way. Jeff Karstens for the Pirates. Cecil Cooper's Houston Astros are 2-6. They were 8-8 against the Bucks last season. And the Astros, when we saw them down in spring training, they did not look like a good club, and Cecil Cooper was none too pleased through at least halfway through the spring. They got a little bit better toward the end. Miguel Tejada, late swing and a miss. Fastball got to him quicker than he thought. Tejada 5 for 8 in the series.
Ball was upstairs just a little bit too. Makes it a little tougher for the hitter to get on top of.
Tejada, Berkman, and Lee 6 out of 11 last night. The key for the Pirates starter to keep them in check.
Well, they got some big bats that are off the slow starts. Berkman 214, Lee 207, Pudge a $185.
And fastball in on Tejada. 2 balls and a strike. Again late. 2-2.
Kind of like a hanging breaking ball there. That's right down the middle. Just like an apple hanging on a tree and right through it.
This would be a setup for a fastball. Blow it past Tejada now. They set up outside. Tejada fouls it out of play.
Karstens just throwing everything upstairs. Fastballs, even that breaking ball that we showed. Breath of wind out there to mess with anything hitting the air this afternoon. 3's a slider.
And it's bounced to deep third. Andy LaRoche's throw onto Adam LaRoche is right there. 2 outs. Time to check out Bob's keys to the game, brought to you by A&L Motors.
Ortiz is very good numbers against us in the past. He will at times really slow it down, and got to make sure as a hitter you don't get frustrated by him making you wait. And Karstens, we talked about right off the bat, he hadn't been out there in a long time. What kind of rust is he going to have, and will it affect his control? He's a control type guy. He needs to be able to put the ball where he wants to be effective. And sometimes when you've had a long layoff, the control doesn't come right away.
So far it's early, but through 3 batters looks like the control pretty decent. Karstens spots that fastball on the corner to Berkman, who's 2 for 8 in the series, 2 for 4 last night. That's Berkman. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I'm not sure he's throwing his breaking balls where he wants to.
That's true.
Greg, I mean, even that last out he got, that was a slider just right down the middle. Belled high, middle of the plate. He didn't want that pitch there, but he got an out on it. And that's just another thing that we've talked about a lot over the years, haven't we?
Yes.
It's like, I think a lot of people, and even some pitchers themselves, have got it in their minds that, well, you got to really be perfect all the time to have success. No, there's a lot of balls right down the middle in the big leagues that get hit for outs.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Or get taken for a strike, or fouled off or whatever. I mean, I always laugh when I hear the pitcher say after a game, "Oh, I made 1 mistake today and it cost me."
Well, meanwhile, you know,
he made 50 mistakes.
Ball pulled foul.
Right there, that's a breaking ball, middle of the plate, mid-thigh.
Heck, even in perfect games, you make mistakes. Remember Jeff Karstens, the near perfect game he had, his second Pirate start last summer. Early on that game, they were hitting the ball hard off of him, the deepest part of the yard at Phoenix. Oh, nice start for him.
Fastball, mid-thigh, middle of the plate, no contact.
1, 2, 3 go the Astros. Pirates now come to bat against Russ Ortiz. Ortiz, it's brought to you by PNC. Nyjer Morgan leads off. Jack Wilson in the 2 spot of the order. Then Freddie Sanchez hitting 3rd. Nate McLeod, the cleanup hitter for the first time this season. Adam LaRoche this series 5 for 8 with a couple of home runs. Brandon Moss, Andy LaRoche, Jason Jaramillo, and Jeff Karstens round out the starting 9. Veteran Russ Ortiz on the hill.
Ortiz is going to be kind of like Karstens. Not really an overpowering array of pitches. Not going to be throwing too many balls by guys in fastball counts, but move the ball around. And as I said earlier, if things, especially if they start, going bad for him, he gets a couple guys on, he'll slow it down.
He can work at a snail's pace at times, Russ Ortiz. 2 relief appearances this season. Had a real fine spring. He was invited to camp, signed a minor league free agent deal, and the Astros really taking a flyer on Russ Ortiz. You look at his numbers. First of all, he didn't play at all last year, recovering from Tommy John surgery. Had that in the summer of '07, so he missed all of last year. The strike is called on Nigel Morgan. It's 2-1. Morgan 2 for 9 in the series, 1 for 4 last night. Off to a .371 start. Now 3 balls and a strike. But Ortiz, a one-time 21-game winner with the Atlanta Braves. That was in 2003. He won 15 games the following year with the Braves, and a strike. It's 3-2. Downhill since then. 2005, 2006, 2007. Played with 3 teams: Arizona, Baltimore, and San Francisco. Combined record 7-22. There's a ground ball, fair, inside the first base bag. And Nigel Morgan will head to second base with a stand-up leadoff double. And a 3-2 pitch.
It's an excellent recipe right there for an early lead. Leadoff double by Nigel. Nigel didn't really turn on a whole lot of pitches. He likes to try and hit the ball the other way, but it's a full count. So he decides to get a little aggressive and turn on a fastball and just rips it inside the bag. No slapping the ball the other way that time.
See what Jack Wilson does. Jack Wilson was out of the starting lineup last night because of an injured left middle finger. And sustained in the opener on a swing and a miss, and then a couple of swings last night before his pinch hit single. Looked uncomfortable. He said, "You might look for a lot of bunts from me today." And there's a bunt foul.
Oh, this is an excellent opportunity to put one down. You just push it on the ground and hope they mess it up. You'll be safe. But if not, then you have excellent speed at third base and just 1 out, setting the table for the guys behind you.
7 hits and 17 career at bats against Russ Ortiz. Jack Wilson with 6 RBIs, the early going of this 2009 season, and a .346 average. 0-1 as the ball was bunted foul, and squares again and gets it down, and that certainly will move Nigel over, and Jack Wilson avoiding any thought of a tag from Lance Berkman, and then the toss to first base where Keppinger covers. Sacrifice moves Morgan to third.
It looked like it was going to be a little bit of a problem at first. I wasn't sure if Keppinger was going to get there. It would have been even closer if Jack didn't have to go wide there and slide. That would have been a real bang-bang play at first.
Cecil Cooper elects to bring his infield in tight. First inning, runner at third, 1 out. Freddie Sanchez at the plate. And he takes strike 1 from Russ Ortiz. Sanchez was 0 for 4 last night. 3 doubles, the home opener. So he's 3 for 9 in the series and hitting .333 on the year, with 3 runs batted in. Check swing, and got him. Got a piece of Freddie Sanchez. Oh no, home plate umpire says he swung. There comes John Russell. Home plate umpire Randy Marsh.
Well, Freddie's I thought Freddie was trying to complain that it hit him.
Well, that's what I thought.
But
because you heard it, didn't we hear a double click?
Well, from watching the slow-mo.
Let's listen.
The double click is a foul ball and hitting the glove. That's the double click. Didn't this go off the head of the bat? No, then it goes off his arm.
Yeah,
I thought it went off the bat.
I heard.
It went off his elbow.
Yeah. 0-2.
Wow.
And ball gets away and caroms right back toward the plate, but Nigel Morgan will score because just eludes Pudge Rodriguez. That limestone surface behind the plate, unpredictable caroms, and this one goes the way of the Buccos. They take a 1-0 lead.
I'm going to see the replay here. The ball comes off the stones and goes wide, and there's nothing anybody can do. Nigel runs way too fast to have a play. But I wanted to finish up on the thing with Freddie. The reason Freddie didn't get to go is because The plate umpire says you swung at it. If you swing at a pitch, it doesn't matter if it hits you or not. It's a strike.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Reaching out and lining it to the first baseman, Lance Berkman. Another look at the wild pitch that scores the first run. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Now Nate McLeod hitting cleanup this afternoon. McLeod takes a strike. McLeod hitting cleanup for the first time in his career.
Doesn't look like a cleanup hitter, and until you look at his stat sheet.
Yeah.
You see what he did last year, and then you say, oh, yeah, sure.
It's a cleanup hitter.
He can hit fourth.
Tapped foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and two, 2 outs. And again, let's take a look at where Pirates offense stands this season through 8 games. During their victories, they're hitting, scoring, and drawing a lot of walks.
Yeah, extra base hits kind of jumps out at you there, too.
And base hit, number 2 in the first inning. Nate McLeod, who was on base 3 times last night, had 2 of the Pirates' hits.
Slider, middle of the plate, not a very good spot. Jumped on.
Brings up Adam LaRoche. I mean, I'm going to be honest here about Russ Ortiz. It would be almost surprising if he came back and had anything close to what he was able to do with a couple years of the Giants and Braves before he gave you those seasons. After a 2004, he went 5-11 with Arizona. And 2005, 0-5 the following year. They released him. In fact, they released him still owing him $22 million. Baltimore picked him up. Summer of 06, he went 0-3 with Baltimore in 20 appearances. Back with the Giants 2 years ago, went 2-3 with a 5.51 ERA. Ortiz's earned run averages in the big leagues last 3 seasons: 5.51, 8.14, 6.89. It is 2-0 now on Adam LaRoche. LaRoche with 3 home runs, 2 in this series. Ball 3. And let's take a look at our Barrel Automotive League leaders. Albert Pujols, Alfonso Soriano with 4 home runs. Adam LaRoche and 8 others tied for 3rd.
Central Division, that's where the big boppers live.
3-0 swinging, and it's a rope to right center field. Oh, he centered that one. A line drive into right center. The Bucks take a 2-0 lead. Adam LaRoche picks up another RBI with his double into the gap, and the Bucks take a 2-0 lead in the first.
When you're an RBI guy, you get the green lights, and you look for one thing. And if you get it, make sure you don't miss it. And that was definitely centered on the head of the bat, right up through the gap. And with 2 outs and Nate McLeod's speed, that's going to be an easy RBI. Right at the crack of the bat, he's gone. He didn't have to worry about if he's going to be caught or not.
Adam LaRoche's second double, and now with 6 runs batted in. Brandon Moss looking for his first RBI of the season. Didn't start last night against the left-hander Hampton. Gave way to Craig Monroe, but he did pinch hit and singled off Hampton in the came to the plate in the 5th inning last night as a pinch hitter. After Craig Monroe had singled in that 5th, Monroe eventually was thrown out on the bases, so Moss not able to complete that at bat. The Bucks were down 4-0. Pirates lost 4-1. Game 2 of this 3-game series.
Yeah, from a purely physical standpoint, Ortiz looks pretty good. He's throwing the ball 88, 89, which is right about where you expect him to be. That fastball at 88. Location definitely means a lot. Harang the other day in Cincinnati ate us alive for throwing 88, 89 mile-an-hour fastballs, just keeping everything out of the center of the plate and mixing his other pitchers in with the same type of control.
And it is a great catch by Miguel Tejada, robbing Moss of a hit and an RBI. Miguel Tejada, the veteran, quickly out to rob Moss. This wild pitch brought home Nyjer Morgan with the game's first run, and then Adam LaRoche the double to plate McLeod. 2-0 Pittsburgh after 1.
Well, that's the perfect type of hit to score him from second base. This little flare that's going to sit nice and easy. It's definitely going to be an RBI. Tejada snatched it away. Our Southwest field cam.
Wow.
Shows you exactly what a great catch that was.
One and one on Carlos Lee. Karsten's ahead 1-2. Misses with that one.
Seems like he definitely is elevating that fastball a little bit this afternoon.
Breaking ball, grounded to Jack Wilson. Routine play. Should have been a little more exciting than Adam LaRoche would have liked.
Yeah, Jack didn't get it quite far enough. Off the end of the bat on that breaking ball. A lot of times Carlos Lee, even though he's a big slugger, there you see Jack bounce it over there. He's not always trying to pull the ball. And he'll take that off-speed pitch, especially with 2 strikes, and go the other direction. But he didn't do it there. He stayed pull, and that's what you like to see. Throw that slow pitch away. Go ahead, pull it. It'll be on the ground.
Hunter Pence was 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly last night. Pence takes ball 1. Jeff Blum on deck. Strike called around the letters.
Yeah, another fastball that's up.
Breaking ball, and this time Pence jumps on that one. Man, he crushes this home run.
I mentioned that first inning, a lot of hanging breaking balls. He's just not getting that pitch where he wants to, and that's exactly what happened here. He threw a couple of these in the first inning that didn't get hit. This time he doesn't get away with it.
Pence, who hit 25 home runs last season, hits his 3rd of the year.
Watch the location. Look at that.
Yeah.
Belt high right down the middle of the plate, and it's a breaking pitch, has nothing on it. You will get away with a lot of those, but not all of them.
Jeff Blum takes ball 1.
Karstens is not working down by the knees very much. Even with the fastball, doesn't matter. Any of his pitches. There we go. That's like about the first pitch I've seen where he has gone down knee high. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach, making notations. He tries to drive that one down. That was most likely a 2-seamer, sinker. He was trying to get a swing, get a ground ball.
Ball drilled foul. Line drive. That line drive home run hit by Hunter Pence moments ago. A look at the hanging breaking ball.
The rotunda. Is that what they call it? Rotunda?
Yep. There's the rotunda.
A couple of rotundas here. The home plate rotunda.
Ball hit toward right center, and McLeod. Hey, we're starting a little early on a weekday, so in case you missed it in Major League Baseball last night, some interesting notes. Ian Kinsler hits for the cycle, and 6 hits for the Texas Rangers. The first Ranger ever to have 6 hits in a 9-inning game. Tim Wakefield flirted with a no-hitter. Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 400th homer as a Mariner, and Dan Uggla, 3 RBIs for the Marlins in their 10-4 win over the Atlanta Braves. Just a few of the interesting notes and nuggets from last night. Those Florida Marlins off to a 7-1 start. Batter Pudge Rodriguez.
We'll get to see those Marlins soon, won't we?
This first homestand of the year. They're coming in Monday. Monday for 3 games. Fish.
They're a warm water fish, though.
So they could have trouble up here.
cool waters of the Allegheny will slow him down.
Line drive, that's going to hook foul. Pudge Rodriguez. Oh for 4 last night. Signed late in spring training by the Houston Astros. 3rd all-time in games played as a catcher, trailing only Carlton Fisk and Bob Boone. Count is 3-2 now on Pudge.
Trying to keep it going as long as he can.
And this one fouled off.
Nice fit for the Astros and Rodriguez. He needed somebody, and so did he.
After today, he'll be just 47 games behind the all-time games caught leader Carlton Fisk. So he may break that record as a member of the Houston Astros. Last year spent half the season with the Tigers, second half with the Yankees. Just missed and a walk. Karstens loses Rodriguez on the 3-2 pitch.
He didn't want to give in to him, even though he had 3 balls. He was just trying to nip the outside corner.
Karstens on your left, and the pitching coach Joe Kerrigan keeping track of things on the right.
He got his pitcher's chart there, charting the pitches. So he said little notations to himself about the hitters he wants to remember.
And now Jaramillo going to go out and talk to Karstens.
I was down there early today in the clubhouse and looking around for Adam LaRoche, and stuck my head into the video room. And there was Joe right in front of those monitors. Got all of his charts out. He's already looking ahead to the fish. He was doing some marlin work.
He is
I think he's sleeping.
Busy man, I'll tell you. In between innings, he's talking to Ryan Domit in most cases. Today it'll be Jaramillo. Talked to John Russell about that. Russell thinks that a combination of Kerrigan and Domit is going to be a nice fit because it really keeps Domit in the game through 9 innings. And now this pitch high to Keppinger, 3-0. A 3-2 walk to Pudge. There's Ryan Domit. Took a foul ball off the knee last night. Was probably going to be rested anyway. A day game after a night game. Pirate skipper says he's going to be fine. We'll see him back in there tomorrow for game 1 of a 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves tomorrow night. That's a strike called, and the 25th pitch of the inning, we're told.
Did you see where Jaramillo was setting up on that 3-0 pitch, Greg? He must have. He was off the plate away. Watch where he's sitting up at. That's a 3-0 pitch. He has to reach back to catch a strike.
41 pitches thrown now by Karstens.
Gonna set up outside again.
Yeah.
And it reaches back and gets strike 2. I mean, 3-1 pitch is. I think it comes right back over, and Pujols takes another strike. Yeah, they pitched around him.
Sure did. 3-2 pitch to Keppinger, missing. Back-to-back free passes. Ortiz a chance to help himself.
Well, he's definitely the hitter that they've been waiting for. The 3 ball pitch to Rodriguez was they were trying just to nip the outside corner, and they missed to put somebody on. Obviously pitching around Keppinger the way they were setting up there when they got the 3-0. So this is the guy they want.
A .206 career hitter with 6 home runs, Russ Ortiz. 0 for 2 this season.
Starting off in a slow curveball for strike. Another little pain on the outside corner.
0-2 on Ortiz. Karsten's 26 years old, native of San Diego, California. Base runners there, Ivan Rodriguez and Jeff Keppinger. Throw over to second base from Jaramillo. Not close. Ortiz pops it up to shallow right. Moss coming in, calls off Sanchez. Hunter Pence, a 1-out homer, and Karsten's pitching around 2 batters, gets the final out, 2-1. Going to the bottom of the second. Pirate Parrott on hand. Where'd she go?
I love watching the Parrot.
Andy LaRoche would love to get his first hit. That's what he would love. 0 for 16 to start the 2009 season. And 2. Was 0 for 2 last night. second at bat. He lined out to right fielder Hunter Pence.
Well, that is the one good thing about this year, even though he's not getting any hits or anything. It's not all pull like it was last season. He is hitting some balls hard the other way. I would like to think there's a hanging off speed pitch tomahawked. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's something slow in your eyes like that, you're going to pull. You don't want to see him hitting fastballs like that. But you know, to me, I understand he's not hitting. He's 0 for 16, but the swing, he looks much more confident at the plate. Not worried about getting jammed all the time.
And it's 2-2.
His approach last year that he had of pull, and always being a little fearful of being jammed. You got to make your mind up a little sooner to move the bat. He would have swung at that pitch last year, but because he is thinking through the middle, gives him a little more time to make his mind up and to lay off the bad breaking balls.
And it's gotten to 3-2.
If you're trying to pull everything, you got to swing a little earlier, so you don't have time to see the ball. And now when you got a 2-strike slider that's just off the plate down and away, just swing and a miss.
This time he comes up empty on that fastball, the strikeout. Now between innings, Joe Kerrigan talking to Jeff Karstens.
They're working with his delivery a little bit, trying to get his mechanics straightened out.
A lot of discussion about that in spring training, as they spent most of spring training apparently trying to adjust to a lower arm slot with him, and now trying to go more over the head, over the top. Karstens quoted in a story within the past couple of days, said, "I felt not bad about the most recent adjustment. Still a little different, but not too uncomfortable. It feels normal for only doing it a couple of times." And now the first big league at bat for Jason Jaramillo. Big moment for him.
I felt not bad. Is that like Old English or something?
Yes. Well, I felt not bad. Well, jolly good. Off we go. 2-1 the count on Jaramillo, a 26-year-old rookie. Asked him before the game about nerves. Yep, got the butterflies, but I would expect to.
He better have them.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Not
I better
normal,
have them.
Yeah.
3-1 on Jaramillo, who spent the last handful of years in the Phillies minor league system. Pirates traded Ronnie Paulino this winter to get Jaramillo. Played 3 years of baseball at Oklahoma State, just as this man opposing him did, Ortiz. There's a ground ball that goes 4-3, 2 up and 2 down.
Yeah,
brings up Karstens.
That game you were talking about, Karstens, and throwing close to throwing that perfect game.
Yeah.
When you talk to him about it, one of the things he wants to talk about is his hitting.
Yeah, he got the couple of hits off Randy Johnson, right?
Yeah, I think at least one of them, I think, was a double. Or maybe it was just 2 for 2 against.
No, I think it was a double. You're right.
It was a double.
Yeah. By the way, Ortiz, an Oklahoma Sooner, led his Sooners team, the College World Series. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Oklahoma, the College World Series champs in 1994, as Nigel Morgan hopes to get a chance here in the second, while Ortiz looks to set down the Pirates 1-2-3. Now they're checking the count. Yes. Randy Marsh says 2-2.
I thought Carson's asking him something after that ball. I thought, Carson, are you sure that wasn't a strike? I'm going to want that pitch.
That's good logic.
I couldn't think. What was he? Why is he asking something about a ball?
That's 3-2. Karsten's drafted as a catcher originally. Oh, takes his pitch way inside. Draws the 2-out walk. First for Ortiz. Now this is vintage Russ Ortiz. This game, he'll throw a lot of pitches, give up plenty of hits, walk batters, but when he was going good, he was winning games for the Giants and Atlanta.
If there's anything that upsets the manager of a team more than you get a couple of outs, nobody on, and then you decide to walk the pitcher.
I can't imagine there's anything more frustrating for a manager.
And you think too about the way he did it. Bouncing a 2-2 breaking ball to put himself in a full count, to where now if he just misses a little bit, it's going to be a free pass. I'm not saying you can never throw a pitcher a 2-2 breaking ball, but if you do, I don't think you want to bounce it and go for the swing and the miss. I think you're trying to you want to throw that pitch for a strike.
That is hammered to right center field, and extra bases for Nigel Morgan. Just a matter of whether he might catch Karstens on the bases. Karstens will score, and Nigel Morgan with a triple, and a 3-1 Pittsburgh lead.
I imagine Cecil Cooper now is really thinking about that pitch selection and the way he went about trying to get Karstens out, as it cost them a run. The only question here was in my mind, could this be an inside the park home run? I mean, 3 is right about now they're picking up the ball.
Nigel Morgan, what a start.
I think Keppinger out of the relay. He caught it, turned, looked the throw to third, and realized that he just better start running it in. The play's going to be at the plate if there's going to be one.
Nigel Morgan's second triple. Both of his hits for extra bases this afternoon. And it's ball 1 on Jack Wilson, who sacrificed Morgan to third last inning. Bucks lead 3-1. And that gets a piece of, well, maybe it didn't. I might have gotten a piece of his jersey. 2-0, apparently he avoided it.
It's a tough one to get out of the way of.
Man.
Oh,
wow.
Right through there.
Two-0 pitch has popped up. Lance Berkman should make the easy play. He does, but the Bucks add to the lead. They get that run back, actually, thanks to the Nigel Morgan triple. 3-1 through 2. Designated Dave Davidson for assignment. There you take a look at his career numbers. Our Geico quote comes from General Manager Neil Huntington. He's another option for Russell off the bench late in the game, and we do think that if he can make that adjustment and come in and play second for us, that he could be a nice addition to us for a while. The Geico quote. John Russell said, we're going to really test Perry Hill. Has the reputation of being the finest infield instructor in the business. Going to work with Delwyn Young and see if he can't play a little second, maybe even some third.
Young might have a little more pop in his bat than he's shown with the Dodgers also, that maybe they can try to find.
There's Perry Hill.
I think he's about 210 pounds. I mean,
yeah,
he's not real tall, like 5'11", but 210. But he may be put together pretty good. And I know I didn't look at his minor league numbers, but I looked. I don't know why I did this, but I looked at some of the stuff he did in college and played a couple years at the community college level and hit a lot of home runs.
2-2. Drove in 97 runs 2 years ago at AAA in the Dodgers system in 121 games and 54 doubles, which tied a Pacific Coast League record. Talking about Delwyn Young.
And, you know, PCL numbers always have to be taken with a. I don't know about nowadays. Used to, you had to. I'm talking about like 20, 30 years ago. You had to really be careful with some of those numbers. It was such an incredible hitters league. It was like 5 of the teams were like Coors Field type atmospheres.
And a walk to Michael Bourne. A leadoff free pass, third walk for Karstens. And Bourne, a guy who historically has not walked a whole heck of a lot.
He's a guy that would love to see walk with his speed. Really just struggled getting on base.
Yeah, last year,
any manner last year.
Last year, a .288 on base percentage for Michael Bourne. Tejada takes inside.
Not the table setter they had in mind when they acquired him.
Long look down at former Pirate Dave Clark, third base coach for Houston. There's Clarkie.
Big wave, Dave.
Jose Cruz, senior first base coach. Step off, look over. Again, Michael Bourne, 41 stolen bases last year.
Always wondered about the step off, where the pitcher steps off and then kind of fakes like he's going to make a throw. To me, that shows me that the pitcher doesn't know why he's stepping off.
Mm-hmm. I know you've talked about this before.
You're getting the sign to step off because the manager wants to see if that runner might give something away and run.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want it to look like anything, you want it to look like you're going to go home first, not coming to first base on a pickoff throw. So
kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, well, the step off. I mean, you don't want that runner thinking, oh, he's coming over.
Right.
You want him to think you're going home so that he'll tip his hand.
There he goes. Taken for a ball. Jaramillo's throw sails into center. Stolen base for Michael Bourne. And that's his first of the season.
Wasn't much of an opportunity for Freddie to do anything with that ball. That really sailed wide. In fact, Freddie didn't even think about going out there after it.
Karstens has gone now to 3-0 on Tejada. He walked 2 last inning, leadoff walk to Bourne, and
he's thrown 57 pitches already. That tiptoeing through 7, 8, 9 last inning cost him a lot of pitches, if nothing else. But you know, you expect this might happen. You know, when he hadn't been out there for such a long time, might not be real sharp. You hope otherwise.
rolled foul. Goes to 3-2 on Miguel Tejada.
And he could still give you 6 innings, but he needs to start getting his outs a little more efficiently. Right now, looking at that pitch count number, he's looking at about 5 innings.
From his knee, look at that play. Bourne will still go to third. Andy LaRoche all the way across to his brother.
That's one way to get the runner over.
Yeah.
Bourne's got great speed, and so as soon as he sees it's going to be a long throw, he knows that he can cruise on over to third base.
Andy LaRoche makes the play all the way across the diamond from his right knee. Lance Berkman struck out in the first. Infield back.
Berkman got a couple of fastballs thrown by him at first at bat, didn't he?
He did. Karstens falls behind him 2-0. Berkman last year finished the season with 29 homers, drove in 106. Miserable second half to his season after batting .347 before the All-Star break, hit .259 in the second half. And he takes ball 3. Career .438 on base percentage against Pittsburgh. That's third among current players against the Pirates, behind Todd Helton and Albert Pujols. Draws the walk. 4th for Karstens. Coming up Saturday, a return to Saturday afternoon baseball as the Bucs will host the Atlanta Braves here at PNC Park, and all fans going to get a Ryan Domit bobblehead sponsored by Trib Total Media. To get your tickets for the 12:35 matinee game, call 1-800-5BUCKS or visit Pirates.com. This Saturday is Ryan Domit bobblehead day. Pirates hosting Atlanta.
Looked like Ryan wanted a little more facial hair on
the
bobble.
That was the pre-facial hair look, the bobblehead. Joe Kerrigan out for a visit to talk to Karstens.
A little Sharpie will take care of it. Karstens is definitely playing with fire here. A couple of walks. Got a big bat and lead.
possible. There's one. No, not going to turn. Slowly hit. Get the out at second. Run scores. Makes it 3-2.
This is almost the same thing that Lee did that first time up. Got a breaking ball and rolled the hands over and put it on the ground to short.
I wonder if Andy LaRoche had a better shot at a double play there, Bob.
Probably. I mean, he's going to get to the ball sooner.
Take another look. Bob talking about rolling it over there.
Berkman got down there rather quickly.
Yeah.
Well, it was slowly hit, but still. He was all over Freddie.
Hunter Pence, a line drive home run that hit the first rung of the rotunda in the second inning. His third home run of the year. Pops this one up, and a play for Adam LaRoche in foul territory. That does it. A couple of walks in the inning against Karstens, and as we head to the bottom of the third, it is 3-2 Pittsburgh. Three-two ball game as Freddie Sanchez leads off the bottom of the third. Sanchez lined out to Lance Berkman in his first inning at bat against Russ Ortiz. Seeing two veteran pitchers back-to-back trying to make comebacks. Last night, Mike Hampton. Injuries have set him back over the last 3 years or so, and same is true with Russ Ortiz. Ball hit in the air lazily to Hunter Pence. One out, and two guys that have had success over their careers against the Pirates. Ortiz 8-1 lifetime. Mike Hampton 11-3. Combined 19-4, these two gentlemen. Ortiz facing Nate McLeod. Yeah, quickly 0-2. Well, not too sure about that one. Just see his reaction. Just a quick shake of the head.
Yeah, you got to turn the page right away, though. Because here comes Ortiz. Sinker down and away. Actually, I don't think Ortiz is working all that slow this afternoon. Decent pace, getting it, throwing a lot of pitches, and that slows the game down. But as far as walking around the mound, doing all that sort of thing, we're not seeing any of that.
Pitch count.
Not too far away from 50-50 balls and strikes.
Breaking ball, grounded to Berkman. Adam LaRoche picked up his 6th RBI the early going of this season with this line drive into the gap in right center field.
He had a runner on base. There's 2 outs, 3-0 count, so obviously he's going to get the green light. He is looking for one certain pitch in a certain spot. Obviously that time it was a fastball. Got what he wanted and drove it up the gap.
Now with 6 RBIs. Heck, since we so often go over his April numbers and have been so poor his first 2 years in Pittsburgh, maybe we can't stress enough that he's off to such a much better start this April. Last year, first month of the season, he had 1 homer, 5 RBIs. And was hitting 174. His current average is 290.
It's still not stress-free though, because he's sitting there, watching his brother struggle the way he is, and he cares so much about Andy.
A little tapper will be an easy 1-2-3 inning for Russ Ortiz and the Houston Astros. Through 3 innings at PNC Park, Bucks in front, 3-2. Thank you. 2 former Pirate broadcasters were winners of the Ford C. Frick Award. Which 2 former Pirates broadcasters? And who knows, maybe a third? Ball 1. On Jeff Blum. And out toward McLeod should be routine. Yes, it is.
2-pitch out. There we go.
That's the way to do it. By the way, Bob, I don't know if you heard the radio side last night. I was on with Steve, and I said I saw you out earlier today with the Windex and the paper towels, cleaning that plaque. He said, yeah, somebody's got to do it.
He actually he's brought a step ladder that he's keeping in the booth so he can go out and clean the sign up every now and then.
What a sight that is, by the way. Before anybody gets here, ball popped up and just out of his reach.
About got it.
Adam LaRoche just out of his reach.
A whitetail just out of range. That did it take off the glove? It's close. We've got nice low railings here. You can really reach in there and get it. If you're going to be aggressive, this is a place to do it. You can get in the crowd here.
Driven to center. McLeod.
He's got it.
Yes, he does.
That's a Gold Glover right there, baby. Track it down now. He's playing shallow a little bit toward left. So he had a ways to go. Ends up making it look easy. Those great big outfielders' gloves are nice too. It's like throwing a big net out there.
Gold Glover, All-Star, 1 error all of last year. Keppinger walked in the second.
You get a chance for a real quick, nice inning. Go after him.
Well, McLeod toward the gap in right center field and not going to get there. Just slicing away from McLeod, so Keppinger's going to wind up at third base. Sanchez's throw going to be late. Triple for Keppinger. What a start he's had for Houston.
A little bit too much slice to get to this one. Again, look at in the background there. I don't know if you could see where McLeod was, but he was swung over into left center. Had a long ways to go. There he is, and that's why he had to run so far.
Oh, a base hit for the pitcher, Russ Ortiz.
It ends up not being a nice, quick, easy inning.
3-3 game.
The first 2 outs on about 4 pitches, I think. They started him out at first at bat with a slow breaking ball for strike 1. Tried to go back to the well, I think, for the same pitch. Off-speed pitch, trying to get ahead of strike 1. That time, Ortiz, who's very experienced and not a bad hitting pitcher. What, didn't you say a lifetime batting average over 200? I mean, that's pretty good for a pitcher. You gotta deal with him a little differently than you would some other guys. I think he's going to go to school a little bit. You start him off breaking ball, strike 1. You're going to look for it. You know, too, Greg, most of the good hitting pitchers that I've played with, they are real good breaking ball hitters, because that's what people think. Well, because bad hitting pitchers can't hit a breaking ball. So as a pitcher, especially when you fall behind, you're always seeing breaking balls. So the guys that are good hitting pitchers, the breaking ball is nothing to them. They could care less. Thinking back to Don Robinson back in his days, late 70s, early 80s. I mean, he would go up there and take strike 1 just to get behind so he could hit that breaking pitch. Just say, okay, you're ahead of me now, and then he'd just sit on that breaking ball. But that's what a lot of good pitchers. Roden was like that.
Well, again, Kerrigan out. Karsten's obviously rusty. That's a 5th walk. Fans stop in Pirates Outfitters, visit the new game-used memorabilia display on the first floor. The newly remodeled display features a variety of items, game-used lineup cards, bats, bases, autographed merchandise like baseballs and jerseys. Pirates Outfitters located inside the left field gate here at PNC Park. Stop by the next time you're here. 2 on, Miguel Tejada. Fouls the first pitch back and out of play. Karsten's trying to get out now of this 4th inning. He's walked 5 hitters this afternoon after a 1-2-3 first.
Pitch count here in the 4th inning is already in the 80s. Bullpen quiet for the Pirates. Nobody up and throwing at all. Everybody just sitting watching the game.
We're now ahead of Tejada, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Three ball game. Broken bat, and that's just going to die right there on the grass, and Karstens has to eat it.
Can you believe that hit?
That is amazing.
How could a ball
just stop dead on a full swing?
Grown man hit that ball. Look at that. There's no way. He could do that with a 60-degree wedge. He'll be hearing about that base hit for a while from his teammates.
Already hearing it from Jose Cruz.
That was a full swing. Ball went 40 feet. Karsten still hunting for that last out.
Oh, this is a big pressure cooker situation here for Karstens. Oh, back to the backstop, but there's that fortuitous bounce off the limestone. Right back to Jaramillo, and no chance. The pitcher on third base, and also the reason why Ortiz didn't break.
Fort Pitt, Fort Duquesne, and fortuitous.
Oh,
that was almost up on the net. It wouldn't have came back at all if it hit the net. That was right off the top of the wall.
Ortiz stays at third. He singled in a run. Michael Bourne walked at second base, and the broken bat, little popper halfway down the line and left, or at third base rather. Miguel Tejada. Now a foul ball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Lance Berkman. 4 career grannies, a .312 lifetime hitter in these situations. This afternoon struck out to end the first, walked in the third. Sean Burnett going to start to loosen up in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. And a fly ball to center field. Well, Karstens will give up a run in the inning, but breathe a sigh of relief, leaving them loaded. 3-3 game. Broadcasters wing of the Hall of Fame. Ford C. Frick Award winners. Can you name them? One obvious, probably, to veteran Bucco fans. The gunner, Bob Prince, of course, and Milo Hamilton was the voice of the Pirates from 1976 to 1979, and we wondered whether another one might be added soon. Well, maybe we should make that plural. You think Lanny Fratteri, 33 years broadcasting Pirates games, and now Steve Blass, 23 years. This is 24th in the broadcast booth. His 50th year in the organization. You'd think he should garner some votes as well. He's there with Tim Neverett in the radio booth this afternoon as Brandon Moss fouls one off sharply. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Miguel Tejada made an outstanding catch. A little flare hit by Moss in the first inning that would have led to the Pirates' 3rd run. They did add one on in the second. The Astros have chipped away. Miguel Tejada.
Looks like we have a right-hander up in the pen now.
And a ground ball. Oh, nice play by Berkman. And Ortiz able to
play by Ortiz,
make the play as well.
But the reason I bring this up is almost 90 pitches, I believe, through 4 innings for Karstens. And the game is tied now. If his spot in the lineup was to come to the plate with runners in scoring position, you got to have at least a threat of being able to pinch hit. So you got to get somebody up throwing. Hansen is firing away.
We touched on it during our open about the entire pitching staff through 8 games. A real positive for the Pirates. And some of the pitchers in the bullpen showing signs. Hansen last night, 1 2/3 of perfect innings of relief. Andy LaRoche still in search of that first hit. 0 for 17.
Big problem with bullpens is when they have to cover too many innings on a weekly basis. And that's going to be something we'll really have a handle on when we get into, say, middle of May, end of May.
How far are those starters going?
Yep.
And a fly out to center fielder Michael Bourne. Frustrations continue early on for Andy LaRoche. Pirates pitching staff entered today's action with the lowest ERA in the league. 2.87 earned run average, the lowest in the National League. Matt Capps has not been used since a week ago Wednesday. Zach Duke, Paul Mahalem in the top 10 in ERA.
We must not have any folding chairs out there. All our guys are sitting in the shade with coats on.
Instead of enjoying that sunshine.
Well, no, they're sitting in chairs. All the Houston guys are out in the sun. Nice and warm. It is a gorgeous afternoon. Enjoy that sun.
Jaramillo misses 1 2, his second major league at bat.
Never get tired of all the sun we have here. It's just.
Did you say of all the sun we have here?
I never get tired of the sun.
Where do you live? That's why we enjoy it in Pittsburgh, the sun so much. There it is. Get out there.
It's still there.
The sun.
It's back.
We do appreciate our sunshine. Ground ball, and there's a base hit. Second major league at bat, his first big league hit. Jason Jaramillo.
Get that ball, throw it out. Write some good stuff on it, put it on the mantle.
Always the fake that they're going to toss it into this stand.
See, that was a bad fake there.
Yeah. Well, of course, they've done it before where they have the real baseball they keep, and they take another baseball and they toss it into the stands, unbeknownst man who hit it.
Yeah, if you're thinking ahead, you already have one waiting.
Yeah.
So when they throw it in, you make the little exchange. Fake one goes in the stands, and the guy standing out on the bases, whoever it may be, get back. Don't get picked off after your first hit.
Mahalam inspecting it.
They'll also take a ball and just really mess it up. Write a bunch of really dumb stuff on there.
So here you go,
yeah,
huh?
Yeah, then say, okay, here's your ball. And you're all bummed out, and then a little later on they give you the real one.
You look at it and go, gee, thanks.
Yeah. Well, that's going to look nice on my mound.
Yeah. Pinch hitter Craig Monroe. That's for Karstens.
They don't stay on the mound long, though.
Where do they end up, Bob?
They end up shoebox in the attic somewhere, probably. I don't know. But they're very precious to you for a while. Like, wow, first hit.
So you kept your first hit prominently displayed somewhere in the house for a while. Ball fouled off 2-2 for like several years.
Yeah, it's like in the kitchen window or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't seen that in 50 years.
Hey, Dad, we have a baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, here, go ahead.
Thanks, Dad. Playing out in the backyard. 3-3 game. In the dirt. Count 3-2 on Craig Monroe, who got his first Pirate start last night, this veteran. He went 1 for 4. Nigel Morgan has doubled and tripled in this game. He's on deck. '80th pitch of the game, thrown by Ortiz, on its way. Pirates with 5 hits, scoring 2 in the first, 1 in the second. Astros with 4 hits, and also helped out by 5 free passes. So no question, Bob alluded to it, that wouldn't be surprised if in his first start it had been so long for Karstens he might be rusty, and he was today.
Really, when you look at it up there, just the 3 runs on the board.
Fortunate?
Yeah, I think so. He was in some situations where a big hit would have busted the game open for him, and he was able to get out of them. And, you know, I do believe that he's a guy that when he's successful, 90% of that hinges on his control. So when he doesn't have his control, it is tough for him. And it was a battle this afternoon.
Another 3-2 pitch to Monroe. Another foul ball. Jaramillo getting a workout and telling second base umpire Mike Winters about it.
You don't think he's enjoying that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Beautiful afternoon, looking up at the stands in the big leagues, on the base paths.
That's what you work so hard for. Get to the big leagues, get out there. First big league hit, swing and a miss as Monroe goes down on strikes. 4 innings complete. It is 3-3.
you by Barrel Automotive, Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. And by Aflac. Aflac, ask about it at work.
3-3 ball game, top of the 5th inning at PNC Park. The rubber match of this 3-game series. Opening day here at PNC Park. On Monday, Pirates players wore the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police caps throughout the game. They wore the commemorative PBP patches on their left sleeves, their uniforms, in recognition of the 3 fallen City of Pittsburgh police officers. In addition, Astros players wore those police caps during pregame introductions. All of the autographed, authenticated caps and jerseys now available for auction at Pirates.com. Under the auctions tab, go to Pirates.com. All proceeds benefiting the Pittsburgh Police Fallen Heroes Fund. Pirates.com. Craig Hansen's first pitch is a ball. Again, all the game-used jerseys and caps, and the umpires also wore them. And again, they're available for auction on Pirates.com to help the Pittsburgh Fallen Heroes Fund. 2-0 the count on Carlos Lee. He grounded out twice against the starter Karstens. His 3rd inning bouncer brought in a run.
Karstens got him to try and pull a couple of off-speed breaking pitches away, and with Hansen up there, he goes the other way, little pop fly, and look at that, goes for perhaps a double.
Wow, ball seemed to be up there forever. Opposite field double for Carlos Lee.
Well, off the bat, doesn't this look like just a fly out to right? Fall in. Moss playing well over into right center and very deep, just couldn't get there. They've crossed us up, I'm going to say 3 times in the outfield on defense. They haven't hit the ball where they're supposed to. Was it Keppinger that
yeah.
We were playing him in left center and he hit one to right center? That was a triple. And I think Pudge Rodriguez just before that, same thing, hit the ball well over in the right center, toward right center, and that's when McLeod made that nice running over the shoulder catch. He had to go quite a ways to get to it.
Now a leadoff double for Carlos Lee in this 3-3 game. A little up and in action to Pence, who grounded out to shortstop last night against Craig Hansen. Hunter Pence, chin music.
And a hanging breaking ball and hit it out of the ballpark. That was his first at bat this afternoon. Here it was, second inning. You can see it was just bell high and just kind of spun, didn't break a lot. And those will get hit hard most of the time, not every time. That one did.
Fly ball to Nigel Morgan. One out in the 5th. 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now on Southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay. Jeff Blum has twice flied out to Nate McLeod in center. 0 for 4 in last night's game, 0 for 6 in the series. Jeff Blum, who drove in 53 runs last year in just 325 at-bats for the Astros. He lined out in his 8th inning at bat against Hansen last night's game. Adam LaRoche went way up to get a very nice play to rob Blum of a hit by Adam LaRoche last night. Carlos Lee at second with 1 out in the 5th.
Let's see if the Buccos can take advantage of the fact that Pence unable to get that runner on. Even on, they've got the fastball. Even pulled the fastball to left field. Could be a big play in this game. Tie game. Not moving the runner to third.
Popped up, going to go out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. And now Jaramillo going to go out. Conversation with Craig Hansen. Hansen, one of the players who came over in that 3-team deal involving Manny Ramirez, going from the Boston Red Sox to the Dodgers. Jason Bay went to Boston. The Bucks received a handful of players in that 3-team deal, including this former first-round pick of the Red Sox, Craig Hansen, out of St. John's University. Two balls, 2 strikes on Jeff Blum. Talk when he came over, possible future closer. Closer stuff. Fly ball toward the line and right. LaRoche, Sanchez, and Moss give chase out of play. Stays 2-2.
Hans needs to refine that control. Lee likes to socialize a little bit out there on the base paths. Saw earlier as he went in the second, he gave Jack Wilson a big bear hug.
If you're a fan of that kind of thing, I guess the Astros are in general. Did you see in their media guide? Did I show you that?
Yeah, I saw.
They are in their media guide. They've got sections, titled sections, that the color photos in each section. In the opponent's section, a color photo of Lance Berkman chatting at second base during a game with Michael Young of the Texas Rangers.
Tell him about
tell him how to hit or whatever. Yeah, ground ball right side. Stumbled. Sanchez on his knees makes the play.
Got that short throw. Freddie had plenty of time. Southwest field cam will show Freddie getting over there and just kind of smothering the ball. He's got all day to make the play. A few things you can do at second base that you just can't get away with anywhere else. And that's one of them.
Pudge Rodriguez has walked and hit a ball to the warning track in center. Ball 1. He lined out last night in the 9th inning to left fielder Nyjer Morgan. Morgan made a nice diving catch to rob Pudge Rodriguez of a hit. Craig Hansen on the mound against him last night in the 9th. Two 2-0 on Ivan Rodriguez. 2-1 now.
Looked like Pudge sold out on fastball there. 2-0, got a breaking ball down around his ankles, and bat went flying. He wanted a piece of that.
Bounce to short. Jack Wilson throws on to first, and Craig Hansen pitches a scoreless 5th inning. We've reached the halfway mark on a Thursday afternoon. It's a 3-3 ball game. First inning, a double to start the ball game for the Bucks. Scored a run on a wild pitch, and then in the second, drove in a run with this triple. Easy breezy, Nyjer Morgan. Now with 8 runs batted in.
He didn't have one of his hats on for the luncheon.
He didn't? No.
I kind of thought maybe.
Did you say anything to him about it?
He would have been sporting. I haven't seen him since. I will when I see him. If you're going to have a little trademark, you got to go with it. You can't just pick your spots.
All kinds of stylish lids for Nyjer Morgan. Now with 15 hits in the top 3 in that department in the National League. And Russ Ortiz out there for the 5th.
There's a stylish lid.
It's more of a blast type lid, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're hitting 405, though, you can put a soup pan on your head. Doesn't make any difference.
No.
You'll be setting a style. There we go.
Just missed 3-2, and look at Pudge's reaction. Von Rodriguez. Couldn't believe he didn't get that call.
He wanted it.
Tapped, and Ortiz had to make that play.
If that gets over Ortiz, and it's not a gimme that they're going to have an out. It will be tough for Kippinger to come in and make the play. Kippinger. He's almost on the grass, and it just goes over his head. And that's going to be a do or die bare hand play for Kippinger.
Wesley Wright, Chris Sampson up in the pen. This is likely to be the last inning for Ortiz. He's due up second in the 6th inning.
He's thrown 90 pitches. So that will be a factor the rest of the game. At this time of year, that century mark is about where they want everyone to end at. If you're mowing them down, they'll let you go a little further, kind of like what we saw with Duke the other night. Jack a little fooled on that one.
Two and two. Wilson a sacrifice in the first, fouled out in the second. Hits even at 5 apiece. Tie game at 3. Liner the other way. Hunter Pence is there. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Saturday on Inside Pirates Baseball. And Savern Sports Beat is coming up weeknights at 6:30. Monday, Stan's guest will be Kevin Colbert. The Steelers Director of Football Operations will be in studio to chat about the upcoming NFL Draft. Don't miss it Monday night at 6:30 here on FSN. Freddy Sanchez has lined out to first and flied to right. Two balls, no strikes.
Looks like Benson may be going just 1 inning. I think Sean Burnett's up again in the pen. He was up earlier, so that's not just to do some throwing. He must be getting ready to come into this one.
3-1.
But these are the type of games that you want to have very few of this year, where the bullpen has to come in and throw 4 or 5 innings.
Second walk. That's going to be it. Cecil Cooper will go to that left-hander to face Nate McLouth. Ortiz gets 2 outs in the 5th, will not qualify for the W. Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen being made, and we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. Tied at 3 with a runner on in the 5th inning. Penguins, the Pens went up 1-0 in the series last night. Game 2 airs tomorrow at 7. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Savern Sports Beat pregame show on FSN. Nate McLeod has singled and grounded out. We understand that there are a handful of Penguins on hand. Chris Letang is here. Matt Cook, we understand. Hal Gill. We'll see Ray Shero in that group. Jordan Stahl was here earlier. Tyler Kennedy. So, handful of Penguins taking in some afternoon baseball here at PNC Park. And we wish the Pens the best of luck as Wesley Wright delivers to Nate McLeod. McLeod 1 for 2.
He was a Rule 5 guy last year, huh? For Wright.
Yeah, made 71 appearances.
Pretty nice season for a Rule 5 selection.
Got him from the Dodgers.
Houston baseball writers voted him Astro Rookie of the Year last season.
He pitched the home opener on Monday and gave up a base hit to Ramon Vasquez. And a walk to Zach Duke. Did not face McLeod in that 7th inning. Check swing, pop up. Catch made in foul territory. McLeod drops his bat, cannot believe it, and fires his helmet. And McLeod, the check swing, pop up ends the bottom of the 5th. It is a 3-3 game at PNC Park. Now you get a chance to watch them in action from the beginning to the end. That's a long run around that warning track.
We've gone from a 40-yard dash to a marathon.
And Cheese Chester, back-to-back nights, just barely able to make it. Cheese Chester took a fall at the end. You see the nose bloodied.
And Cheese Chester, he started out as milk, turned into cheese by the time he got there. That's how far the race is.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely hilarious.
That's a long run.
There's the coach. Best of luck again, as we said, to all the Penguins. Dan Valsma, the coaches, coach of the Pens. I understand that Ray Shero was here earlier, along with some of the players. Boy, he's done a heck of a job since taking over. It's amazing how often that does happen in the NHL, especially. Make a coaching change. Man. Team catches fire. Sean Burnett facing Jeff Keppinger. So far, so good from Burnett. Bouncing ball to Jack Wilson.
A lot of talk this spring about Sean Burnett, trying to get him to be very effective against right-handers, as he is against lefties. Try to even that out so that he wouldn't have to be used in a specialist type role. But, you know, going back to the maybe I should let sleeping dogs lie here, but going back to this starting rotation and getting them deeper into ball games, if you have that, then you can use somebody like Sean Burnett more in that specialist role, where at the end of the season they got 60 appearances in just 30 innings.
Such a key.
But when you're not doing that, when you're having to cover 4 or 5 innings every night, it's tough to have a lefty out there that is not effective against some right-handers.
Falls behind pinch hitter Jason Michaels, who played in 102 games with the Pirates last year. He is batting for Wesley Wright. Chris Sampson will be the new pitcher in the 6th inning.
Wesley Wright kind of pulling off that specialist role this afternoon. Come in to face the lefty, you get him out, boom, you're out of the game. That's how you get a bunch of appearances, a lot less innings.
Strike 3 called. Nigel Morgan, we talked a moment ago about the job he did yesterday, but to take a look at the strike 3 called on Jason Michaels.
Michaels jumped out of the way of that. It looked pretty much like it was just right down the middle. Didn't get a good look at that one as it was coming in.
Michael Bourne now. And a strike.
Good to see that 17 back on the mound.
I know. All you guys always root for your numbers.
I know.
It's like you're back out there again. Glass, the same thing with 28. Understand? You've got to have a special place in your heart for that number.
I don't want to see it on the mound. I want darn regular players to get it.
Bob Walk's number.
That's not mine.
Oh yes, it is.
No, it's
well,
not
you act
mine.
like it's yours.
No, it's
with the way you talk.
It's Doc Ellis's number.
By much.
A lot of people have wore it very proudly. Now it's Sean's.
And 3-2. Michael Bourne. Bourne has walked twice. Stolen a base, scored a run. Remains full. Bourne picked up from the Phillies November of 2007 along with Jeff Geary in the Brad Lidge deal. Liner past Sanchez into the gap in right center. Got to be careful because he'll take off for second and he'll make it routinely.
Got there instantaneously. Wow. He is flying around the first base. It was like first to second. Took no time whatsoever. And McLeod had a long way to go to get that base hit. He was over in left center. And 4 times now where they've hit a ball toward a gap that we're not covering. Crossing us up. But you have to play the percentages. You have those spray charts down there that show where guys hit the ball most often, and that's where you got to play. You'll get burn on it occasionally. How about this inning? Sean Burnett, no problem with 2 right-hand hitters, and then the lefty gets up there that usually can't hit him with a bull paddle. and rips a double.
Well, let's hope that pattern continues now then. He gets Tejada. Sean Burnett made the transition from starting pitcher throughout his professional career to exclusively a reliever. Started making that transition in spring training last year. Honed his skills back down at AAA for a while. Came up to Pittsburgh and made 58 appearances out of the bullpen. Pirates' first round pick in the 2000 draft. Born in Dunedin, makes his home in Wellington, Florida, just a few miles outside West Palm Beach. His rookie year in 2004 as a starting pitcher, won 5 games, but then had to undergo Tommy John surgery. Hit the other way toward the line. One and two on Tejada.
Tejada's not being real selective up there, is he? He's just swinging a little of everything. He's fighting for that first RBI. He's got 33 at bats this year. Has not had a run batted in yet. Guess I should have waited to say that, huh? We've got wood right here. I'm knocking on it. But he's a little over anxious. It's a bat. That time he doesn't chase.
Two and two. And full count.
Well, a shot there, Berkman on the on-deck circle. Normally, you would be very, very careful to not pitch to Berkman. You would want to get something done with Tejada, I would think. I don't know right now. Berkman hasn't looked good this afternoon.
Well, we'll find out.
Yep.
It is going to be Berkman with 2 on and 2 outs. Jeff Karstens in 4 innings walked 5, gave up 3 runs. Craig Hansen gave up a leadoff double to Carlos Lee last inning, but got the next 3 men. And after 2 were out here in the 6th, Michael Bourne doubled to right center. And Tejada walks on a 3-2 pitch. Now Berkman. Strikeout, a walk, and a fly out to center. And he now, of course, bats from the right side.
A changeup?
I didn't see.
Quick, Berkman was out in front. Like a little tail on it. I don't think it was a fastball. That one was a heater.
One ball, one strike on Lance Berkman. 2 for 8 from this side of the plate this season. His 1 home run as a right-hand batter. Nowhere close, 1 and 2.
Berkman just does not look comfortable at the plate this afternoon. This ball down around his back foot.
Fly ball, left field, deep. Nyjer Morgan is back. It is gone. Way out of here. On a 1-2 pitch, Lance Berkman. A 3-run homer. 6-3 Houston.
Comfortable now. He chased that bad breaking ball down by his foot. And I think that Sean came back with another one, except this time threw it for a strike. Started him off with I think was a changeup for a swing and a miss. Went away with a fastball. Now the back foot swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Now you're out ahead, and he put that break ball right out over the plate, about mid-thigh. I know you've heard me say this a number of times, Greg. It's location of the off-speed pitch. The further ahead in the count you get, the further out of the strike zone it better be. I mean, you get away with that strike one, pretty good piece of the strike zone, get away with it. Now you're at strike one. The next breaking ball has got to be borderline pitch. And once you get to 2 strikes, now you got to take it out of the strike zone. And Sean kind of had that backwards. But then again, I don't think he was, when he got to 1 and 2 on that bad swing on the breaking pitch, I'm sure he wasn't thinking, okay, now I'm going to throw another one now for a strike here. He was trying to get in the chase for a second time, and he just didn't execute what happened.
Fly ball to Brandon Moss for the final out. Well, Burnett got the first 2 men, but then the double by Bourne, the walk to Tejada in front of the Berkman homer. Debut includes a 430-foot home run off Carl Hubble. Boston beats New York 4-2. The Babes contract includes a share in the team's profits. April 16th, 1935. No, he's not the Babe. They called him Little Elvis for a time. Lance Berkman.
Remember the Killer Bees for a while? He went from not doing a whole lot of anything, real quiet, to getting the big home run, 1 swing. Even up until he hit the ball out of the ballpark, he wasn't looking good. Fooled on that changeup badly. Swung at a bad breaking ball well out of the strike zone, almost hit his back foot. Got a mistake pitch, drove it out, and that's the difference.
Down by 3. Chris Sampson, the new pitcher. Sampson 2 scoreless innings. The home opener on Monday. Pirates try to come back this afternoon. Took a 2-0 first inning lead, had a 3-1 lead after 2. The Astros picking up single runs in the third and fourth, and then the Berkman 3-run homer. Tyler Yates up in the Bucko pen.
The bullpen has 3 more innings now to have to cover.
Popped up toward the seats. Blum is over.
The bullpen now is going to have to pitch 9 innings in 2 nights.
Yep.
That's what you want to stay away from. That's what got them going bad last year.
Fouled off. Stays 1-2.
Thought about it. It will hold up.
Fly ball hit deep. Left center. Oh, deepest part of the yard. Adam LaRoche into second base with his second double of the afternoon. That's his 7th hit of the series.
Bourne just couldn't believe he hit it that far. Ball was down knee high away from him. Almost looked like it's going to come off the end of the bat. I'm sure from center field that can't look like he's hit it very hard just by the pitch location. And so Bourne kind of took a bad route. He's moving laterally first 2 or 3 steps, and then sees after that that's going to be down. It's going to be over his head. And that was too late to get back there in time.
LaRoche.
Kind of a reaching swing down and away. And Bourne naturally thinking that that ball was probably going to be more in the gap than off the fence.
Now the batter, Brandon Moss, looking for his first ribby the early season.
You know, need to answer here. Get at least 1 run back on the board. You don't have to get all 3 of those back immediately. It's still just kind of like at the midpoint of this game. I think it's important to get him to third base. Get Adam over to third. And a lot of times, just because you play for a run doesn't mean that's all you're going to get. Get him to third base. And sometimes whoever the pitcher may be out there, because he starts thinking about, well, I got to do this, try and save that run. And now maybe he gets too fine, walks somebody.
1 ball, 1 strike. Andy LaRoche, the on-deck batter for the Buccos, down 6-3 in the 6th. 3-1 on Moss. Fly ball to left. Carlos Lee will make the easy play for the first out.
Moss, even though he was way out ahead, 3-1, still not able to pull him.
Coors Light 6th inning freeze cam. And Lance Berkman in the 6th inning, the top half of this inning. It's his 2nd home run of the season. 3-run homer to give Houston the 6-3 lead. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Crossbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Well, that is not Carlos Lee in left, which is a strike.
What do we got out there?
Jason Michael stayed in the game to play left. Better defense, of course, for Cecil Cooper. But that was a play that even Carlos Lee could have made. I'm sorry. Am I right?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give that one to you.
One ball, one strike on Andy LaRoche. He has struck out and flied out. Pops this ball up, headed toward the seats. Great time to get off the schneid right now. 0 for 18 to start the season. Liner to right. That has to feel good. Won't get an RBI out of it, but he gets that first hit. Moves his brother to third. And the crowd giving him a nice ovation.
Well, this is a kind of an example of what we were talking about earlier. That just, you know, you got to stay with it because the way he's approaching things much different this year. He just drives it hard the other direction. Last year, he was lost out there. You knew that it wasn't going to come around to him just by the way he was trying to hit. But this season, he is trying to stay back, drive the ball through the middle, and he's sticking with it. And eventually, they're going to start falling.
First and third. Jaramillo bounces it foul. He picked up his first big league hit in his second major league at bat in the 4th inning.
Also on that play, big brother Adam had no chance of scoring. You could see on the replay there that he had the freeze on that line drive. He couldn't take off running until he saw it clear Kepinger's head, get out into the outfield.
First and third, one out. Pirates down 3. And back to the mound, a double play ball. Wow. Sampson gets out of it with a 1-6-3 double play. Through 6, it remains 6-3 Houston.
Southwest Airlines has low fares with no hidden fees. Book now at southwest.com, where what you see is what you pay.
Here in Pittsburgh, the Pirates trail the Houston Astros 6-3 in the rubber match of this three-game series. The opening homestand for the Buccos in 2009, winning the home opener on Monday 7-0. Lost 4-1 last night. Had an early lead, but a rough start for Jeff Karstens. Sean Burnett giving up the 3-run dinger to Lance Berkman, and now gives way to Tyler Yates. Chris Sampson getting that huge double play to end the 6th inning. The comebacker.
He almost threw it away.
Yeah.
Thought for a moment he would. You see that so often with pitchers on that play. They get the ball, they see the inning is over, and they hit the panic button. And what is a simple little throw to shortstop becomes one of the toughest throws they've ever made in their life.
Watch the panic set in.
Well, this happens so much to pitchers. They get that ball back and they're just like, oh no. I mean, he actually bounces that ball out there.
It's pretty amazing it happens as often as it does with a pitcher, Bob.
Yeah, a guy that makes his living hitting a target with a baseball, and they can't make that throw.
How were you on most times on that play?
I figured out a trick.
Yeah, what was it?
I mean, I was just like Sampson there in the beginning. It was like you get that ball and it's like, oh, where's it going? I don't know. But I finally figured out a trick. And that's to just absolutely not look at any infield or anything. As soon as you get the ball back, you turn and look at the base. Look at the base and just throw the ball right over the top of the base. Don't ever catch yourself looking at one of the players, whether it's the second baseman or the shortstop. And not once did that ball ever sail out in the center field. There was always, I would throw it right to nothing but air.
And somebody would always be there.
And there always somebody would catch it, step on the bag, and complete the double play. But back when you were thinking about hitting the runner, no chance. Yates four-seam fastball. Pow. Right by him upstairs.
Jeff Blum 0 for 3.
And so often in any kind of sport, I think if you let your body take over instead of getting your mind in the way, you're very successful. You know, I hear golfers talk about that. Just your body kind of knows what to do. It's your mind that messes everything up. And it's the same way with that play right there. The little tapper back to the mound. Just let your body throw the ball where it's supposed to.
Base hit for Blum, his first of the series. 8th of the game for Houston.
Inner game of tennis that was written years and years ago that Branch Rickey had a lot of the minor leaguers read.
Branch Rickey III.
Yes. And you think you're talking to Blast?
Well, that's true. You're right.
Yeah, Branch Rickey III. He had a lot of those books passed out in the minor leagues, and I got a hold of one, and it talked a lot about that mind game that you can play with yourself. It really is a something. I don't know. You just have to get it mastered.
Ball one on Pudge Rodriguez, who has walked, hit a ball to the warning track and grounded out. At first base, 6-3 Astros. Tyler Yates and a liner toward right field. Moss won't get to it. And a fairly close play at second, but Blum is in there.
Yeah, Blum probably should have slid. The reason I say he should have slid, because you can run faster to the bag and then slow down real quick. But because he goes in standing up, see him freeze. Now he's got to start slowing down before he gets to second base, and that makes it a close play. It's just a force. See, he takes a little baby steps right there going in. It's slowing down.
First and second with one out. The pinch hitter Jason Smith bats for Keppinger. Baby steps, Bob.
Yep, baby steps. Nice and slow.
See Jason Smith 0 for 5 so far. Signed a minor league free agent deal with the Astros in January. With the Royals the last couple of seasons. Ball gets away from Jaramillo, not far enough. Blum did not break immediately, so he holds.
Caught sleeping a little bit. That was definitely far enough away to move up. And with one out when you're at second base, that's an important 90 feet to get.
One ball, one strike on the pinch hitter Jason Smith. Gets this one into the seats, 1-2.
As a runner, you almost have to anticipate something happening on every pitch. If you get used to just going back to the bag, it's very hard to move up on a ball that gets away from the catcher just 10, 15 feet. That's why Jack is so successful at that. I'm sure in his mind, every single pitch, he is looking for that ball just to bounce away a little bit. He's out there looking to go. Got his weight out there on that front foot.
Goes to 2-2 on the left-hand batter Jason Smith. Blum at second, Rodriguez at first. One out here in the 7th inning. Astros look to add to the lead. Tap foul. Jason Smith has played with a handful of organizations since breaking into the big leagues with the Cubs 8 years ago. Tampa Bay, Detroit, the Rockies, Blue Jays, Diamondbacks, and most recently the Royals. 17 career home runs for Jason Smith, 16 of them on the road. An oddity. One of just 4 big leaguers since 1950 to hit 16 of his first 17 on the road. Hank Aaron, Eddie Yost, and former Bucko Dick Grote, the others. And down on strikes, no home run this time for Jason Smith. Second K for Yates.
It's just like the first K. Four-seam fastball that he just throws by the hitter. Nice pop of the glove.
Michaels with 2 on and 2 outs.
Michaels first time up, struck out looking, and it looked like it was going to be a nice easy inning for Sean Burnett. Keppinger to ground the short, struck out Michaels, and then things did not go too well. Just gave up the double to Bourne.
One ball, one strike.
You know, if you, as a pitcher, if the catcher's going to do all those touches, you know, shoulder, shoulder, knee, all that stuff, you can't go into your stretch until he's finished. Because if you do that early, then that tells anybody that's watching, okay, after the second touch, he goes into a stretch. It's the second touch. I'll bring that up because Yates, on the pitch before that, he went into a stretch, and
Jaramillo wasn't done.
Yeah,
huh?
he's still touching all, you know, giving his signs. Now, when you're giving the fingers between the legs, nobody notices that except for maybe the runner out there. But there's, see all the touches? You have to wait till he is done now, go into your stretch.
Now, what was the reason the Pirates went to that format last year?
I don't know.
Oh.
Do you?
Nope. Two balls, two strikes.
You know, one of those touches means something. The rest of the stuff doesn't.
He strikes out the side. Score through 6.5. 6-3 Houston. Time for the Levin 7th inning stretch. A couple of hits in the inning, but Tyler Yates strikes out Pence, Smith, and Michaels. It's hot dogs for just $1. And join us tomorrow night. First Friday night game of the season here at PNC Park. Pirates host the Braves. All fans also get a 12-month Pirates calendar sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods, which contains valuable coupons for Dick's, plus food, beverages, merchandise in the ballpark. That's all coming up tomorrow night. Visit Pirates.com or call 1-800-5BUCKS. Ramon Vasquez leads off. Now to the 7th inning. Vasquez bats for Tyler Yates, and Smith stays in the game to play second. One ball, one strike on Ramon Vasquez. Not a full swing. One out in the 7th.
I love the defensive with that swing. He's kind of followed that breaking ball down.
Niger Morgan, 2 for 3. Last year, Chris Sampson made 7 appearances against the Buccos and was not scored upon in any of those outings versus Pittsburgh. A strike is called. Man, there's a base hit. He's on for the 3rd time today. He's a home run shy now of the cycle. Niger Morgan.
They're pulling the ball today, too. Early in the year, he's been doing a lot of hitting it the other way. But a breaking ball about knee high inside. The best they can do with that is hit it to right. Hit it where it's pitched. When they leave it inside, go ahead. Pull it in the right field. See that shot there. He's trying to peek in at the catcher. Base runners, base stealers, they love to know what's coming. They get out there. Now look in, see if they can see the signs. Watch his eyes. His eyes, he's looking right at the signs. Almost like he knew they were coming over. Isn't it? They all do it.
Down 3 are the Pirates in the dirt. 2-0 on Jack Wilson. Blocked by Pudge Rodriguez. Three and 0. Tim Burdack is up in the bullpen for Houston with Nate McLouth in the hole. He'll follow Freddie Sanchez should the inning continue. And it's a 4-pitch walk.
That one not even close.
Have to figure the Pirates are due against Chris Sampson. Look at the Bucco bullpen, lefty John Grabo. But Sampson, as he'll get a visit from the mound, pitching coach Dewey Robinson. Sampson 2 scoreless innings, the home opener on Monday against the Pirates, and now in his career 11 appearances, covering 19 1/3 innings. The Pirates yet to score against him. Saturday on Inside Pirates Baseball, the inside story of Rinku Singh and Dinesh Patel, how they became Pirates and what they're up to now. Plus, we'll show you what's new at PNC Park this year and hear from Nate McLouth, who shares an embarrassing minor league moment. All this and more on Inside Pirates Baseball, presented by your Western Pennsylvania Chevy dealers and Geico. Saturday morning, 11:30 here on FSN.
Remember how Nate had kind of a, well, I'm going to say an embarrassing at bat, but an at bat that didn't end well back in the 6th inning.
Yeah, that check swing.
A couple guys on base.
Yeah.
Little check swing, end of the inning, little pop fly.
Yeah.
He was upset with himself. He's going to get a chance to redeem him. A redeemer right here this inning. It's shaping up to where his at bat is going to be a big one.
2-0 on Sanchez as Sampson suddenly having difficulty finding the strike zone. Chris Sampson gave up 2 hits last inning, got Jaramillo to bounce into a double play. Got the pinch hitter Vasquez to bounce out to start this bottom of the 7th, but Nigel Morgan, the base hit to right. Wilson walked on 4 pitches. 2-0 on Sanchez. Sanchez drew his first walk of the season in the 5th inning. He historically shuns the free pass. Freddie Sanchez lined out in his first inning at bat, fly to right in the 3rd.
Never saw a pitch he didn't like.
Yep.
He goes up there swinging.
Lines this one into the seats, left side, 2-2. Pirates have not scored since that 2nd inning, when they led 3-1. Nigel Morgan's triple brought home Jeff Karstens. Pops this one up, and that will reach the seats. Jason Michaels goes over. It remains 2-2.
It was almost like that ball was coming back toward the field of play.
It looked like that.
Yeah, you know, almost all the time a right-hander hits a ball that way, it'll hook deeper into the stands. Freddie, kind of a funky-looking swing, put some weird spin on it. Ball was coming back.
Still 2-2. So a lot of this from Freddie Sanchez second half of last year's. Pudge talks to Sampson. As Freddie Sanchez really regrouped, got healthy the second half last year, hit .346. And when he's going good, he's driving the ball into the gaps, getting a lot of doubles and fouling off a number of pitches. Morgan at second, Wilson at first with one out in the seventh, down 3. Count goes full. This will be possibly the last pitch that Sampson throws. He will not face McLeod, who's on deck. Broken bat into the seats, left side. And Sanchez will go get the new stick.
That goes flying. You know, I kind of thought maybe they had stopped that sort of thing this year. They were doing something with the bats.
Yeah.
Can't remember now exactly what the deal is. They test them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But now it seems to me that I'm starting to see just as many heads flying off the bats as ever.
Doesn't it seem like it's recent?
Yeah.
I mean, in spring training, we didn't see many.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of them now, last few games.
And another foul ball.
Freddie's a foul ball machine. He is so good at taking care of the fans.
10th pitch of the at-bat. Another souvenir.
You know, they keep track of everything nowadays.
Yep.
Somebody somewhere has got to keep track of that. Which hitter leads the league at the end of the year?
It's got to be
souvenir baseballs.
It's got to be written down somewhere.
I would imagine Freddie got to be up there in the top 10, maybe top 5.
This one is going to go out of play.
Souvenir.
A nice grab. Young fan brought a glove.
That was a
the way you
fine
do it.
catch. That ball was hit fairly high.
Yes.
Nice play. Reaching a little bit for that
yeah.
one, too.
3-2. Let's go Bucks chant. Not much to cheer since that early flurry for the Bucks. Another 3-2 pitch on its way from Sampson to Freddie Sanchez. Another foul ball.
I think one of the maybe the reason why he hits so many foul balls is he's undisciplined, and he will swing at a lot of borderline type pitches that you're lucky if you do get just a piece of, like that last pitch. That was well up and in. Gets a piece, stay alive.
Another one, and they just had the bat boy had to go and get a brand new box of baseballs during this at bat. Gabe, you're going to be working today, buddy. Just brought a brand new box out.
All rubbed up.
Reached into the bag. Ready for Randy Marsh's cue. 14th pitch of this at bat coming up. Who's going to win this battle? Broken bat, pop up, and it is going to be dropped. How about that? Blum had a beat on it.
Should have had that kid in the stands try to catch it. He'd have had it. He took a bad
he never
route.
got a piece of it.
Yeah, he took a bad route and just whiffed it.
He needed another bat, and Freddie Sanchez, now the crowd really getting into it. There's the new box of baseballs. Sanchez had to go get yet another new bat. Still 3-2. Sampson thinking, what do I have to do here?
If the game went on the line, he'd be tempted just to kind of just lob it in there and say, here, hit this somewhere.
Listen to the Freddie chant now. Line drive, foul ball. Sampson versus Sanchez. What a battle.
I'm serious. If the game's not on the line as a pitcher right now, you're here. Either that or you go the other way. You throw the hardest, best overhand hook you've ever thrown in your life. It's either going to be strike 3 or ball 4.
Another foul ball. 16 pitches this at bat. 17th pitch due to Freddie Sanchez.
I guess if you're scouting this, you say Sampson didn't have a good swing in this pitch.
Chris Sampson drafted as a shortstop. Hit just .239 his first year of pro ball and quit the game. Was out of baseball 3 years. Came back as a pitcher. And finally, he will retire Sanchez, born into the gap in right center. 17 pitch at bat.
Crowd's giving him a hand, but Freddie is not going to be happy going back in the dugout.
And that will be it for Sampson. He's
exhausted.
Yeah. Cooper will go to the left-hander to face Nate McLouth. 2 on and 2 outs in the 7th. Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen. I'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return. Sanchez, the 17th pitch, a fly out to Michael Bourne.
They've been doing a lot of talking about that.
Yeah.
We've been watching in between, well, not in between innings. I've been watching as Burdick is warming up.
9 minutes, 38 seconds.
All of his teammates coming up wanting to find out what he was thinking about out there, trying to do. He'll remember that one for a while. So will Freddie.
Now Tim Burdick pitched the home opener. Gave up a run, walked a couple. And did not face Nate McLouth in that game, as McLouth takes a strike. Oh, and 2. Russ Ortiz started for Houston. Gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, walked a couple. Left with a man on and 2 outs in the 5th. Wesley Wright got McLouth on a check swing foul ball, and now McLouth is caught looking. Pirates leave a couple more base runners through 7 innings. Houston leads at 6-3. Get text updates, watch videos, and even listen to games live right from your mobile phone. Discover all the products available for your phone by texting SHOP to 65246. Standard message fees apply. Products are available from select carriers on select handsets. Top of the 8th. Pirates still down 3. Now it's John Graybo. Michael Bourne on base 3 times, couple of walks against Karstens. Doubled last time against the left-hander Burnett. Jeff Karstens, 4 innings, 5 walks, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits. His first start of the season. Bourne, they'd like to appeal that one. No, says the umpire, but boy, it didn't look as though Bourne pulled that bat back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, he pulled it back, but it is awful late.
Yeah. Ball 2-1.
I think he started trying to get out of the way of the ball. And that's why the bat didn't come out as quickly. He was thinking more defensive maneuver rather than trying to get the bat out of there.
Sanchez gets him by maybe a half a step.
Oh, you got to hurry when he puts it on the ground. Man.
One out as Sanchez makes the play. Check out the Pirates defense. Only one error in the last 57 innings. Brought to you by Firestone. This will sneak through. And Miguel Tejada has his second hit this afternoon. He's on base for the third time. He has 7 hits in the series. And it brings up Lance Berkman. Berkman from this side of the plate hit his second home run of the season with 2 aboard in the 6th inning, breaking a 3-3 tie. Left side, 1 and 2. Pirates turn the 5-4-3 double play into the bottom of the 8th. Still 6-3 Houston. Lance Berkman's home run came in the 6th inning. And that's where we stand, 6-3. Pirates down to their last 2 at-bats. The 8th inning here against Tim Burdack. Facing the left-hand hitting Adam LaRoche, who has doubled twice in 3 ABs this afternoon. LaRoche, then Moss, and Andy LaRoche. And bounced foul.
I wonder if this is Adams' highest ever batting average on April 16th. Hitting over 300 now.
Willing to go out on a limb and say yes.
Yes. By maybe 100 points.
Yeah.
Another week or so of this, we can kind of put that story away. We don't have to talk about Adams' early struggles anymore.
Pirates got him 71 spring training at bats, plus several more in at their minor league complex at Pirate City in Bradenton. All line foul. 2-2. Don Long, the hitting coach, has said because of that swing, that long swing, it takes a little longer for the timing for Adam LaRoche. There's the Pirates hitting coach. Who knows? Maybe that was the trick. Maybe he was just due to have a better April, but this time he strikes out looking.
And does not like the call. And Adam doesn't say much. He won't get on the umpire very often, but he had something to say after that one. Is it off the plate? Definitely borderline pitch. See him turn around immediately and question it.
Ball one on Brandon Moss. With Andy LaRoche on deck, Jeff Geary loosens in Houston's pen. Boy, there was a big play Tejada made on Moss in the first inning. There's Geary. And Blum over, not able to get there in time.
Moss really saw it off, couldn't get much on the ball, didn't get it high enough for Blum to make a play. Well, that'd have been a nice catch sliding, and that would have been a redeemer for that one he missed earlier. Ooh, nice look.
Oh, Burdack wanted that one. 2-2.
He got one at bat before with LaRoche up there. That similar spot. That's why he wanted that one.
Full count.
Burdack kind of looking in again.
Line to right field by Moss on the 3-2 pitch.
That was a nice swing.
Yes.
He really had that front side locked down, giving no ground to the lefty Burdick.
That's the 9th hit. And now see
it right down and then just exploded open.
Cooper going to stay with the lefty against Andy LaRoche. Got his first hit of the season in the 6th. Bounce to short. Inning-ending double play. Tejada to Smith to Berkman. On to the 9th. Remains a 6-3 Astros lead. PNC Park Bring you game 2 of the Pirates-Braves series with JoJo Reyes scheduled to go for Atlanta against Ian Snell for the Pirates. Steve Blass will join me with the call. Coverage begins at noon right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you this Saturday afternoon. First game of that series against the Atlanta Braves, of course, tomorrow night. Dollar Dog Night here at the ballpark, and it's Paul Mahalem on the hill for Pittsburgh against Jer Jurgens. That Caps needs some work. Pirates closer. Darren Erstad will pinch hit for Burdack. That Caps hasn't pitched since Wednesday night in St. Louis when he earned his second save.
Now once you get to the 9th inning, you're behind. There's never going to be a save opportunity the rest of this game anyway. So get him out there. Let him pitch. Let him fire one to the screen first pitch.
Yeah, let him scare some people. Watch.
Look out.
Oh, my.
Moved a little too late.
Popped up. Andy LaRoche in foul territory. With one away, right fielder Hunter Pence.
Check it.
Yeah, why not?
He was thinking the first pitch swing. Now, how could he even have started the bat after that ball? Unless he was just totally guessing. Oh, they did check it. Good. I'm glad. I mean, you're not going to get it after that long, but still.
Doesn't hurt to try. Not penalized.
If you check immediately on that, you might get it.
Yep.
You never know. Just right away ask. Did he go?
2-0 the count on Pence. A home run in the second. It was his third of the year. As Caps falls behind him 3-0. Pence 2 for 10 in the series. 1 out, 9th inning. Bucks will have one more shot. It's a save situation, but apparently Cecil Cooper not wanting to use Jose Valverde, and it's a 4-pitch walk, a rarity for Matt Capps.
Well, he seems awfully wild high this afternoon. First pitch of the inning, clear to the screen. Holding on to the ball, just watching Pence to see if Pence will wander off the base, thinking that maybe he'd already thrown it back.
Ball 1 on Blum. Runner goes. Right center.
Throw it to second. Throw it to second. He's going to be out. Come on. Tag the base. Tag the base.
You think he missed it when he retreated?
I don't think he slid into it, came off on the third base side, and then ran back. Again, it's like a check swing.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah. What are they going to do? They can just say no, give a save sign. But he slid into the bag and got up on the third base side of the bag and then ran straight back to first. And I thought Capps was pointing towards second base when they were throwing the ball in.
Let's take a look at that last out. Blum flies out, and watch Pence. See if he retouches second.
He slides in the bag.
Yeah, Caps does look like he's pointing.
Yeah,
towards
he's
second.
pointing. Caps pointing. You saw the same thing I did. He's pointing at second base, like, hey, he slid in and did kind of like a little pop-up slide. But he popped up off the bag to the third base side, which
his foot was on the other side of the bag. One of his feet.
You're kind of like, and then I didn't see any retouch. Right at that point, then he just ran straight back. There was no second touch of the bag. Doesn't matter now; it's too late. And that's why I thought for sure they were going to throw a second, because Caps was pointing over there, saying something. But again, it's like a check swing. You're never going to get one unless you ask.
Still 0-2. Braves will be in tomorrow night, and they won't be a happy group. They were swept. They lost today at home to the Florida Marlins 6-2. The Florida Marlins leading the East. They are 8-1 at the start of this season. They will come to town starting Monday. The Braves fall to 5-4. 3 games with Atlanta starting tomorrow night. Paul Mahalam on the hill for the Buccos. Ian Snell on Saturday afternoon, and Zach Duke Sunday afternoon. Runner goes on the 0-2 pitch. Throw not getting Pence.
High fastball. This is a good pitch to throw on. This is almost kind of like a pitch out. And Armorio put a nice toss down to second base. Right on the bag. His first throw down didn't go too well this afternoon. He didn't stay behind the ball. It got off to the side of it. And a big tail as the ball went in center field. But that one there, he fired that one right on the money. How come everybody behind the plate's always talking on the phone? The Parrots, even got his cell. Even the Parrots got a cell.
Check me out, calling his buddies.
Yeah, look at. Can you see me? Yeah.
Watch FSN.
Oh, he wanted strike 3. Back on the phone.
He's got Jay Sedlak's photo on there. How about that? Swing and a miss.
And a good slider.
Well, it's going to be LaTroy Hawkins, who has at times struggled in save opportunities in his career. We'll see if the Bucks can come back. by Aspindental. Jaramillo will give way to a pinch hitter. Started this bottom of the ninth inning, and then Ryan Domit will bat as well. Pirates trail by 3, and apparently Cecil Cooper not going to use his closer, Jose Valverde, this afternoon. That could play into the Pirates' hands, because as we said, LaTroy Hawkins has been an outstanding setup man throughout his career, this veteran right-hander, but even though he put up some decent save numbers with the Twins, 28 in the 2001, 25 with the Cubs his first year in the National League that season. Blown some saves as well over his career. It'll be Hinske, then Domit, and then the top of the Pirates order, Nyjer Morgan. Some 48 blown saves over LaTroy Hawkins' career.
He's given up a bunch of hits this year. See what that his opposition batting average is, 429. Let's keep that trend going.
Strike on the pinch hitter. Hawkins.
New modern strike zone there, huh?
Yeah.
Very high strike.
Hawkins pitched a scoreless 8th inning last night. Eric Hinske, pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night against Jose Valverde, and singled. Bucks down 6-3. Two balls and a strike. Hinske signed over the winter by the Pirates to improve their bench and also provide them with a guy who will get plenty of starts this year. He'd play the corner, outfield, and infield positions.
The bench, at least on paper, should be a nice contributor to the offense when called upon this season. And Hinske most likely leading that charge.
He'll start the inning by popping up to Michaels in left. Now Ryan Domit to pinch hit for Caps. Ryan Domit last night went 0 for 4. Mike Hampton, the 100th pitch of the game last night, was to Ryan Domit with 2 on and 2 outs in the 6th inning, and Domit sent Carlos Lee all the way back to the wall, nearly hitting a 3-run homer that would have gotten the Bucks to within a run. Lee able to make the catch, and the Astros won it 4-1 last night.
Well, LaTroy's rushing it up there pretty good. I have to look at the radar, guys. Just listen to that glove popping.
The veteran LaTroy Hawkins, 36-year-old native of Gary, Indiana, came over from the Yankees last year, a deadline deal for a minor league infielder. 2-1. No on the appeal. Two and one on Domit. Ball's popped up near the seats and out of play, near the parrot. 2-2. Need to get a couple of men on here in the ninth. Full count.
A pretty solid at bat for Domet, sitting around all day, coming up here in a pinch hitter's role, and getting it all the way to a full count. See what he can do with it.
That's a fair ball. Oh, the bat boy nearly. Not that it would have made a difference. Went after that ball. Last second decided against it. So a base hit on a 3-2 pitch. And now the tying run will come to the on-deck circle.
Well, if he catches it, they might give him a double, though. Right?
That's true. You're right. Yeah. It could. It's up to the umpire's discretion.
Umpire could say that was going to get in the corner.
Yeah, it could have.
That boy had a great break on it, but then he, right there at the last moment, pulled the glove back. He realized that was fair.
Nyjer Morgan has 3 hits today. 5 hits in the series. Doubled and scored in the first. Tripled in a run in the second. And singled to right field in the 7th.
So very good at bat for Domet.
Yeah.
Not used to the pinch hitting role. Was able to sit over there all this time and get up and have a real strong at bat deep in the count. Smoke one inside the bag.
That's grounded to the shortstop Tejada. Keeps it to himself. The second out.
Who did Tejada think was running there? The way he went at second base, it was like he thought he had an easy double play.
A 6-3 game. Here is our view.
Not bad view, is it?
Spectacular. Jack Wilson now. Pirates are down to their last out. And Troy Hawkins had 1 save with Houston last season. What a pickup that was for the Astros. He finished with a 0.43 ERA in his 21 appearances. The pickup of Hawkins and Randy Wolf really catapulted the Houston Astros. Pitch down low. They had a great second half surge last year after those trades. And then Hurricane Ike hit on September 15th. They were forced to leave Houston, go to play a quote home game in Milwaukee against the Cubs. They were no hit that night by Carlos Zambrano. The next night they were 1 hit by Ted Lilly and 3 relievers, and then went down to Miami and were swept in a 3-game series against the Marlins. And they pointed to that date, that no-hit game against the Cubs.
Well, you don't like to make excuses, but
didn't seem fair.
They probably could have found a neutral site to play that game. Milwaukee playing the Cubs, probably not a neutral site.
No. They had won 6 in a row and 14 of 15, moved within 3 games of the wild card lead.
So about an hour and a half drive up there from the north side.
Yep. One ball, 2 strikes. And this should do it. Tejada makes the play, and the Houston Astros take 2 of 3. after the Pirates win the home opener on Monday. Lose last night 4-1 and had a 3-1 lead after 2, but Houston kept chipping away, and the home run by Lance Berkman with 2 outs and 2 on in the 6th inning to break the 3-3 tie.
And last 2 games, bullpens had to pitch 9 innings. That can't go on. That's got to change this year. Starters got to go deeper, get the bullpen out of things.
Yeah, just 4 innings from Karstens this afternoon in his first start. Saturday afternoon, we're back here at PNC Park. We'll bring you Game 2 of the 3-game series, the Buccos and the Atlanta Braves. Ian Snell on the hill for Pittsburgh against JoJo Reyes. Steve Blass will join me with the call. Our coverage begins at noon right here on FSN Pittsburgh, bringing the game to you. For my partner Bob Walk and our entire FSN crew, Greg Brown saying thanks so much for watching and reminding you to stay tuned. Pirates postgame is coming up next. The Astros win it 6-3.